Hello everyone and good afternoon. We're excited to have you here today for the webinar Unity for Your Users. Before we get started, we have a couple housekeeping items. You'll notice that right now all the phone lines are muted. We are recording this session, and in an effort to make that recording as clean as possible, we will keep all the lines muted. If you have a question though, you are welcome to type it into the GoToMeeting chat panel, and we'll get to those during our Q&A portion. With that, I'd like to turn it over to Colleen Alber to get started.
Thank you so much, Allison, and welcome everyone. It's so exciting and wonderful to see so many people on the line excited about Unity. And I am thrilled to be here with my co-presenter from OTTC, Julie Himoud, who is from Quality Assurance and one of our resident Unity technical experts. So we're going to switch it up a little bit, and instead of doing my usual, 5 to 10 minute introduction on what is Unity and why it's so fabulous, we are just going to jump right into the demonstration and let the software show for itself. With that said, imagine that you are the only other person on the line and that this demo is for you. Please type any and all questions regarding what we're showing on the screen or anything Unity related. Some of them we may have to take offline and discuss later. Some of them may even be above where Julie and I are at with Unity, and that's okay. We ensure you that all questions will be answered, but we will welcome and take as many as we can throughout the presentation. And so with that, welcome, and we will begin. So this is the Unity client in OnBase 14. In the upper left-hand corner, you'll notice that our application menu icon has changed to that of the word OnBase and 6 colored bars in beautiful shades of blue and green, and that actually reflects the 6 product categories. Each one of those 6 bars represents one of the 6 product categories of capture, process, access, integrate, measure, and store, and you'll see the beautiful blue and greens, which are our new brand. We are on the personal page, which for those of you that are not familiar is the user's dashboard, their ability to personalize or customize their own experience within Unity. And for the first time in OnBase 14, we'll get to this at the end of the demo if we have time, these personal pages can be mass deployed. So you notice at the top of the personal page there's a My Tiles group. These are tiles that the user has sent to their personal page. And of course, sending a tile is just like creating a shortcut in Windows. I'm going to right click on something and say send it to my personal page. We see a folder for a particular applicant, a custom query, a DKT reading group, forms, the ability to full text search the entire OnBase repository, and so much more. Then we have a human resources tile group, and this was created by the administrator, most likely for everyone in HR, that include common tiles that they would want to use. And so these two groups, tile groups, can coexist, the personal one and the one pushed out by the administrator. So today we are logged in as Jason Knight, and he works within the HR department, and we're going to showcase functionality across most of, if not all 6 of our product categories. And I want to start first with capture. So certainly we have our advanced and an evolution of that, our intelligent capture for AP modules, and a lot of that processing will be done in an OnBase client. But what's available to all of our users, which Julie and I are going to showcase here, is interactive data capture, which is the ability to help automatically index using some point-and-shoot indexing type capabilities within the Unity client itself. So because we don't have a scanner or a piece of hardware attached, we're going to sweep in a single HR file, and this is for our candidate, Sam Hastings. And he's candidate/employee in our kind of fictitious demo. We're more about showcasing some of the features and personalizing Unity for you and your users, as opposed to telling a complete HR story, so I will give that disclaimer. But what we also want to showcase is not just some of the capture functionality, but also the extensive support for PDFs, which has been brought to the Unity client over the last couple of releases. And not necessarily new in OnBase 14, it was new in OnBase 13, this interactive data capture does indeed support PDFs. So after we've scanned in, or swept in our case, this one file, we're going to use interactive data capture to index it into the system. And so if we had advanced or intelligent capture set up on this document, some of that automated indexing would surely take place behind the scenes. Most of the time, this interactive data capture is used as a correction aid for that indexing when it's suspect. So when we come into Unity, this is where we hope that the indexers will start to live. So new in OnBase 14, and I'm not going to rattle off the list of enhancements, I encourage you to visit community, we have added many of our production document imaging and indexing features to the Unity client. There are many reasons to live within the Unity client if you are a keyword indexer, whether that's corrective or they're doing a lot of manual keying, one of which is the ability to configure a keyword panel. This is only available within Unity. And you'll notice that for this individual scan queue, this setting is per user, per scan queue. We've actually, paired that position applied and that department keywords side by side. You can put multiple keywords in a row. You can remove keywords found on the document type from the panel if they don't make sense as part of that indexing process. In addition to customizing the standard keyword panel, we also have the ability to use a Unity form here. So you can actually create a Unity form that mirrors that of the physical paper document so that as the user's indexing, they're almost mirroring the look and feel of the document itself. So right in that configurable keyword panel are one of the many reasons to keep our indexers in Unity itself. Another is this interactive data capture. So as we go to the document that we just brought in, we actually brought in for Sam Hastings our cover letter, our resume, our reference, and our I-9 form all as one document. And I'm really excited because we're going to be able to split up this PDF a little bit later. But as we bring it in now, we're actually going to index it as one document so that we can use our batch separation to split it up.
While we're waiting for that, we have a question that came in. So this person would like to have the users in Unity always open to the same e-form. Instead of if they go to somewhere else, it'll pull up the last thing that they looked at.
So Harvey, maybe you can clarify for us. Are you requesting that every time they open up Unity, you want to set a specific e-form, blank e-form to be filled out potentially as the home page? Or is this an e-form or a document that has been completed in the past?
Yes, to the first question.
Unfortunately, the ability to set e-forms as the home page just brings you to the e-forms layout. Now, of course, we have that filter on the e-forms layout to help them jump quickly to that particular form. But you're right. Otherwise, they're setting that e-form as a favorite or as a tile on the personal page if they want to go to that individual application for XYZ. But we don't yet have the ability to get to that exact e-form from the home page. And I apologize, I'm not aware if that is currently an SCR. If you know that it is, let us know and I'll take a look at it and we can check in and see where that's at in development. If not, we can certainly work together to write one up.
Perfect.
Very good. Thank you for the feedback. All right, so back to our indexing. We are going to use our interactive data capture to index this document. And watch closely in the name field as Julie begins to type the name of our candidate, Sam Hastings. And watch as it automatically creates a drop-down list of values. And so what we're doing is we are automatically, or I should say, we are OCRing on the fly in real time this document, and it's finding all of the instances of S, SA, SAM, and she's able to type and complete for this document. Other methods, she's just going to use an autofill here to complete that indexing, but we also have the ability to strike through a value and shoot it to a keyword, or double click on a value and shoot that over to a keyword, the latter two being available on image file formats. So from here, we are done with this particular document. Maybe you can scroll a little bit just so that they can see that we've got multiple documents here. So we've got our resume, our cover letter, a bunch of different documents, and we're going to bring these in as one file just kind of for purposes of our demo. Ask about the batch.
Oh, okay. Was that the, sorry guys.
No.
Why are users able to commit batches from Unity client?
Sure, a question that comes up every time we give a Unity demo, and Tim, I completely appreciate where you're coming from. Currently, it is not possible to commit a batch from Unity What we recommend and suggest, though, is that you schedule the commit of that batch to happen on a scheduled basis, behind the scenes, maybe even at off hours, something like that. But it is not possible yet from Unity. We do have an existing SCR. If you are not currently on that SCR, let me know. We'd be happy to add your customer organization. I hope to see that in the future, but can't guarantee that it will make it into the next or a future release. So schedule the commit in the meantime.
Okay.
All right. And so moving along in our demo, we're now going to send this batch, in quotes, or our single document to document separation. In OnBase 14, we have unified the separation experience between our ad hoc document separation and our batch separation. So I believe, and Julie, correct me if I'm wrong, batch separation was new in OnBase 12. I mean, document separation, ad hoc document separation was new in OnBase 12, I want to say.
Yes.
So new in OnBase 12, we added ad hoc document separation support for image file formats. And so what this is the ability to use a virtual scissors and split up a document into multiple documents in OnBase, or I should say split up a single file into multiple documents in OnBase. And since OnBase 12, this has only been available for image file formats. New in OnBase 14. I am so excited. We now have extended this capability to PDF files as well.
Okay, can we use indexing screens to verify all documents stored or certain document types, including those that have been imported from other departments?
Let's see. I am not sure, Ted, that I am following this question correctly, but can we use indexing screens to verify all documents stored or certain document types, including those imported from other departments? I'm going to say the answer to that is no. The indexing screen is simply used to capture document type, keyword, and date information about the document or documents being viewed. It's not doing any validation or verification or check as to what else is in the OnBase system. That would be a function of workflow. So after the document has been indexed, you could potentially send that document to workflow and it could do checks for other content. And what we can do at indexing, though, is when you index a document, we can identify if we have another document with those exact same keywords already in the system, and we'll identify, boy, do you want to save this one as a revision or as a new document? But we can't validate that all the components of a single file or record or transaction of information are all in the system. That would be a function of either workflow, if you want it to happen immediately, or potentially exception reports or folder templates to see what else is in the system. And we can talk about more of those things later as well.
Awesome. And then does the Unity client ever require any licensing like the thick client workstation did? For example, the production document imaging.
Absolutely, great question, Deb. First and foremost, of course, the Unity client server is a $10,000 enterprise license. It also requires every time a user logs into Unity, they will consume a client license, whether that is concurrent, named, or workstation. In terms of production document imaging, absolutely, it requires an imaging license. But new in OnBase 14, and I don't know if you fed me this question or not. If you did, thank you, because I forgot to mention it, that Unity now respects all production and desktop document imaging licenses. So even those lower level desktop 15 page per minute imaging licenses are now respected and allowed in the Unity client. So all imaging licenses can be used in the Unity client. The interactive data capture, which we just showed, does not require any workstation license on behalf of the individual named user or workstation, but it does require either advanced capture or intelligent capture for AP to be licensed at the enterprise. And then an unlimited number of Unity users can use that interactive data capture to index any document. And the reason that we chose one that did not go through intelligent capture for AP or advanced capture is that we wanted to showcase that this document type does not have to be part of either one of those processes for this particular tool to work. All right. Sorry for making you wait, Julie. All right, so now we will send this document to document separation. And this is our ad hoc separation, which for the separation piece does not require any additional licensing. However, support for PDFs does require the PDF framework license to support PDFs. So images only, no additional licenses for this ad hoc separation component. The PDF piece does require that additional support for PDFs. And if you work extensively with PDFs in OnBase, editing them, transforming them, modifying, I certainly will recommend the PDF framework license be something that you look into. So here we've got multiple documents for Sam Hastings, and we're going to separate out these documents, and I'm going to kind of let Julie go through some of that and maybe even speak up to showcase some of the features as this particular interface has gone through a complete redesign. You can see that she's hovering over some thumbnails to get a closer look. You can even set the thumbnail size to varying degrees depending on how many pages or thumbnails you may have. You can use scissors to split the documents. You can drag and drop documents to different rows. You can select multiple documents at one time. And you'll see that we begin to create separate documents in OnBase. She can view each individual document in its own row, or they can be combined, and she can view all of the thumbnails with a different visual indicator as to their separation. And as we go through, we can see that we're able to change the document type and the keyword for our newly created documents. But at that same time, we're also able to select the file type, selecting either, now remember we started with a PDF, an image or a PDF file format. So this is almost like a poor man's or an ad hoc image creator or PDF creator. So commonly requested functionality found right here in document separation. So we're going to take our 4 or 5 page document and split it up. And as Julie's kind of walking through some of this indexing and some of these features, we'll take a couple questions. Allison?
Yeah. Are you able to split up PDFs without the PDF framework license?
Not with this particular tool. No, it does require the PDF framework license. Now, I have heard that this requirement may change in the future, but I can't confirm exactly when that may happen.
Okay. And then can you combine TIFF files with PDF files and vice versa?
You can, which is what's so exciting. So another way to get documents into separation, and everybody, stop what you're doing and imagine your document hit list. And you're now right-clicking on a couple documents in that hit list. Some may be images, some may be PDFs, and you right-click Send to Document Separation, and they all come into this interface, images and PDFs alike. Well, you're able to drag and drop thumbnails from the image, drag and drop thumbnails from the PDF, combine them to create this new document, and then choose the file format of that new file type. So absolutely, super exciting. You can see here Julie has up the page holder. Let's say we had hundreds of thumbnails, which is sometimes common if you've got a lot of invoices from a single vendor or a large commercial loan file, and you want to take a page over to that little page holder or parking lot, and then you scroll down to the bottom of all your new documents and you can drag this new document in. We also have the ability to add comments for any revisable document types right here, so you're not getting that prompt when you save the new ones. So lots of great features being added. Anything that I'm missing, Julie, to point out here?
Yeah, so a couple of new features that we've added. So if I select, say, the first document that has multiple pages, we've got this split feature, and now we've got break into documents. So as you can see, we can either break by every page, every other page, every 3 pages, or we could set our custom range of where we would like to split these documents out.
So is that almost an example of every 3 pages it's going to be a new document, just send it here and click this button?
Yep. And what else? We've got also this group by document button. So when I click on that to unselect it, then we see all of the pages in one view. So this is similar to what we had in the batch, in the scanning before. Now we've got it within the Unity client as well. And then one other thing to mention, we'll go back to our layout, is if you double click on one of these pages, now we'll actually open it in a new window, if I can get it to double click. For some reason it doesn't want to work on this VM, but, oh, well no, now I've opened it like
Down at the bottom, hey, down there, no problem.
Yeah.
So a couple of questions that have come in. One of them looks like, is that a note or discussions on the fourth document? Julie clicked on it just briefly. That was actually the comment for a revisable document, correct?
That's correct.
So you can click on that again. Here's what Nick was asking about.
Yep.
Very good.
So that'll let you know. So if it is red, it will let you know that the comments are required for this revisable document. If it's yellow, that means that you could either add them or not add them. And when it's blue, that means you're ready to go.
Okay, another question, does this auto-delete blank pages? I'm going to guess the answer to that is no, but maybe you can confirm.
I would guess that that's the answer as well, but we'll have to check into that.
Yeah, Colleen, our gut is no. If you hear differently from us, the answer is yes. All right, can you add page numbers to the newly created documents? Boy, that would be a great enhancement request, but unfortunately not. We can't add the page numbers. You can certainly go into these newly created documents and use image markups to add the page number manually yourself, but we did not do that automatically. All right. In the interest of time, I see we have a couple other separation questions. Nick and Tim, we'll get back to some of these because we can show you coming up how to right-click on a bunch and
cool.
send them to separation.
Perfect.
All right. So in this case, boy, I thought we were going to have more than enough time with an hour, but I love all the questions. Keep going. Keep them coming. We'll get them all going, and Julie and I have nowhere to be, so we're good to go. All right, so with this, we are saving all of our new documents into OnBase. We have our original, which has now been modified, and our new reference, and I-9. And so now these new documents live and breathe in OnBase, and ultimately we will return to our personal page. And while we're waiting for that, a couple questions that have come in. One I saw was, what is the difference between advanced capture and intelligent capture for AP? Behind the scenes, they both use the same OCR capabilities to provide document classification, identification, indexing. They're both automated indexing tools. Advanced capture is what they call a forms or a template-based solution, which means that on the document, you're identifying zones where document identifiers and keywords will be found so that we can extract particularly in those zones and send the keyword values to the keyword indexing panel. Intelligent capture for AP is an evolution of our advanced capture product that is form-less or template-less, which means that for all of your accounts payable document types, primarily focusing on that accounts payable or vendor invoice, you don't have to create a template for each and every vendor, which you can understand would take a little bit of time. But instead, we built into the tool the ability to identify invoices by vendor based on vendor information that we have, or by using identifiers in the document itself. For example, whenever you see total amount, boy, the digits right next to it are probably the total amount for that invoice. Or when you see invoice number, the 5 digits following are probably the invoice number. They are both automated indexing or advanced capture type tools. One has been specifically customized and designed for accounts payable document types. Lots of info out on Community. So back to our personal page. We're now going to search for some information by clicking on our applicant information custom query tile. And so this will bring us not just to the custom query layout, but specifically to this applicant information query that we, as Jason Knight, HR specialist or generalist, run all the time. And just to kind of showcase some of the features of the Unity client itself and its ability to filter or sort through lists, we're just going to run a full search. Now granted, we don't have thousands of applicants in our demo database here, but we've got enough of a pool of applicants that you can see we get a large hit list of documents, and OnBase provides many ways to kind of filter through or sort through that document list. So another one of the questions that came in was, has full text indexing occurred on any of these documents? And John, the answer to that is no, it has not. So our full text indexing server for Autonomy Idle and all of our advanced capture products share in common the use of OCR that is executed on our data capture server. But while advanced capture and intelligent capture for AP are both keyword indexing based products, our full text search makes every word in every document searchable. So no full text search capabilities or no full text indexing has been licensed or executed on any of these documents. That would happen after the keyword indexing once the document enters the system. So from here you can see we have a large hit list of documents. And first we'll do a little grouping, stacking, sorting. And these are just ways to filter or sort through a hit list. And a lot of these ideas just came from Excel. So whether it's by document type or by applicant, we're able to filter through a lengthy list of documents by dragging any one of these column headers up to that group by area. We can sort these columns in ascending or descending order by clicking on the column header. You'll see that automatically, without us doing any configuring, each one of these columns or keyword values almost in a way creates its own filter or drop-down list for us to continue to filter these values. And depending on how advanced you want to get and the keyword type that you're selecting, some of these features can get pretty exciting, doing a less than or a greater than some numeric values, or when we're talking about a date range, show me everything from last year or last month. Users are able to take columns and stack them on top of each other, reorder them, resize them. And once they're done with all of this layout customization, it actually persists between sessions per custom query, in this case, per user in the database. So it doesn't matter where that user logs in from, their custom query customizations, or actually any document list customizations, will persist between sessions. And it doesn't matter if they kind of make a little bit of a mess of it, a simple right click will clear all of those customizations. So that is both grouping, stacking, sorting, and just a little bit of column filtering. Over on the left-hand side, and we'll zoom in on it really quick, are a feature unique to Unity, specific to custom queries, which are our custom query filters. And in order, we have our text, our instance, and our pinch filter features. First is our text filter, and watch that filter actually corresponds to the name column over on the right-hand side. And as our user begins to type, our list begins to filter. The second query filter feature in the list is our instance. And not unlike some of the column filter features we have in our document list, we're able to simply select on a value and the list filters to match, let's say, all the developers in our position applied. And the best part of this particular feature is before we even click, we know how many values we're going to get. So not unlike popular shopping sites like Amazon and eBay, I'm going to put in a broad search and then I'm going to filter for items less than $50 used that ship for free. And then finally we have our pinch filter feature, which represents the distribution of documents between two values. And it gets its name because as we pinch those two little thumbs closer together and farther apart, our date range actually, our list, filters or expands based on the value. So lots of different ways to customize and filter a list of documents if our users do the hasty things and just search broadly. Next, we're going to do what we hope our users will do, which is to enter a little bit of search criteria and get a secondary list. We know we're looking for Sam's documents, so we're going to enter his name and pull up a list. And you'll notice as soon as we do that, that we actually have two tabs within our list display. So not unlike, Internet Explorer, where your different browser web pages are in two different tabs, we have the same thing here in OnBase, two different tabs. And each one of these tabs has its own set of options. We can float a particular tab into a secondary window. We can send the results of a particular search to our personal page. And maybe let's do that. Let's send the results of this particular search to our personal page, which are our documents unique to Sam Hastings. And so then we'll create a new tile on our own personal page that will bring us right to Sam's documents. And we also have the ability to send the results as a link. And this is a new feature added in OnBase 14 where we've actually expanded many of our Unity Pop methods. So if you're familiar with Unity Pop as it stands pre-OnBase 14, Unity Pop was right-click on a document, send this little UPOP XML file attachment that popped open the document in Unity. Well, now we've enhanced those pop methods to include the ability to pop to a folder, to a workflow queue, to a form, or even to the results of a custom query. And now This UPOP extension can either be that little XML attachment that actually looks in your email like an attached document, or it can be a link like we see here. And when you click on the link, you pop right to the open documents, right to the list of documents in Unity. And so finally, we can even send this result set as a CSV file. So if we select one or more of the documents in the list, we can send this entire result set to Excel, providing the user both the data about the documents and the documents, a link to the documents themselves. Okay.
All right, we have some questions that flowed in. Does the Unity client have help buttons within the interface so that it will show you the definition of different items in the client?
Yeah, we have the ability, little mouse overs. Maybe Julie, as we go through the demo, we can do an occasional mouse over here or there just to highlight what some of those things are, if that's what you're asking. Yes, there are little helps, and you also see kind of that question in the upper right-hand corner of near the application menu, which provides some additional help information as well.
Okay. Can batch scanning convert images to PDF and text?
The answer to that, it can convert. So production document imaging does have some options, like within OCR and within imaging, to convert to PDF and to convert to a PDF with searchable text. So there are features within that combo imaging OCR capabilities to output to PDF, even the image with searchable text, even that all-encompassing PDF-A file format.
Okay.
So that is a result of some of those other licensed modules, production document imaging, and possibly even OCR, depending on exactly what you're looking for. But
Okay.
yes.
Does a document with multiple instances of a keyword still show up twice in a custom query?
Joseph, that is a good question. I do not know the answer to that off the top of my head, and Julia's shaking her head that she doesn't either. I don't know specifically that was fixed or that it is still an issue, but we can look into that for you. If you have an FCR number that you're currently associated to and working on, and you can shoot that over, we'd be happy to look it up and get you a status while we're here.
Okay. When a document is separated, how is it stored in OnBase? Is it just breaking the file apart or pointing to a particular page? And a follow-up to that is, will you ever be able to just find the original document with all the pages?
So it will actually split up the document and store them as separate files. Your only method of separating, I'm trying to think, can you keep that original and split up? So you can create a new file. Yeah, so you can copy. You can take that original with all 5 pages, copy it, so now you have 2 with 5 pages each, and this can all be done within separation. And then you could split up the newly created or copied 5 pages and split that up into new documents. Now I don't know that that would necessarily show the revision history, but you could staple or link those documents together. Certainly if they have related keywords, they could be cross-referenced in some way, so that you could have that original 5-page and then the broken apart file. Let's say you create 3 new documents, maybe all linked back in some way, shape, or form to that original.
Okay. Can a custom query use and or for multiple keyword filters?
Can a custom query use and or for multiple keyword filters? I suppose that if you use an HTML custom query and you build some of that logic into your HTML form, that would be possible, but honestly, off the top of my head, I am not sure.
Okay.
If anybody else knows the answer to that, feel free to type it in so we can answer it right here. I'd appreciate it.
Can a frequently used query be saved with certain keyword filters in place?
It can. So if you conduct a custom query with, I'm looking for this invoice number over this past, however many dates, and you can actually save the results to the personal page, and then when you come back in, refresh the results of that custom query tile, and it will use that same search criteria and simply update the list of documents that resulted from that query.
Okay. On the document pinch date tool, can you key in exact dates instead of trying to arrive at exact dates moving the tool?
Good question, Debbie. No, unfortunately you can't. You do have to use the little pinch to do that sliding filter. If you want exact dates, we'd recommend that you just enter those into the keyword panel prior to search.
Okay. Is there functionality that will convert a PDF to a spreadsheet?
No, there is not. We currently don't have any method in OnBase to convert a PDF to a spreadsheet, unfortunately.
And then is there any difference for separating cold document pages?
Difference, certainly. That document separation only supports images and PDFs. You know, cold separation, it uses that, you know, I kind of refer to it as the visual cold, but it's almost that, you know, row and column indicators to identify where keyword values start, but also where new documents begin and end. And so cold separation, which is our cold processor, our import processor, to split up those text files or those green bar reports into individual quotes documents in OnBase, is very much different from the separation that we're talking about here with images and PDFs, if that was your question. If not, feel free to type in some clarifying information.
Okay. When you save a document to the personal page, if keywords updated after saving, will it show new or old keywords when you display it?
Ooh. So you save an individual document to the personal page. If the keywords are updated after saving, will it show new or old keywords when you display it? I don't know. Off the top of my head, we would have to test that. Do you know?
I don't know. I
Okay,
can't remember.
yeah.
I can't remember.
Great question. We've got some brain busters. I don't know.
In other words,
Are they dynamic? Yeah, I know what you're asking. I'm trying to think. Yeah, if we send, you know, Sam Hastings' resume to the personal page and then change his name to John, you know, is it going to update to John? I don't know. We will have to check that. Great question. All right, more questions. Type them in as we relog into our Unity client here.
it sounds like, yes, you can use the and or logic on the search page of the custom query by using keyword search options.
Very good. Thank you, Michael, for that update. We appreciate it. So yes, you can use an and or an or in custom query. Another question, are all of the features available in batch indexing available in Unity? I'm going to say, and this is because I'm not an imaging expert by any means, I'm going to say we are close to 95 or 98% of the imaging features, and of course I'm going to say that, you're going to say which one is not there, and I don't know off the top of my head. I'm just giving myself a little bit of a cushion because I'm afraid to say 100% or I guarantee they are all there. But it is, you know, in talking to Ray Gerwig, we are nearly, if not all the way there. And the two interfaces and applications will never be 100% perfectly identical. You know, Unity has a lot of things to offer that are not found in the OnBase client. If there is a particular feature that you are wondering or curious about, please just let us know. We can certainly investigate that for you. But you're going to be really close, maybe not 100%, but almost all the way there.
Can you use OR logic in document retrieval?
Yes, I believe you can. I would have to maybe validate that as one. If somebody else can validate that you can use OR in document retrieval, I don't know that I've done that in a while. But I would say yes that you can. We might have to look into that. Worst case, I know that you can do all of these operators in the full text search. So if you want to include full text searching in your OnBase solution, we do provide all of those Boolean operators in the full text search.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. We were trying to fix the demo up here. Can you use Kofax Twain VRS as a scan source in 14?
That is a great question. I'm going to have to check that one with Ray Gerwig. I believe that you can. I know you can use Kofax, and I know you can use Twain as a scan source, but Kofax Twain VRS, I am not 100% sure, but I will let you know.
And then how much is the Unity client server?
Unity client is $10,000 for that enterprise license, and it just consumes from your existing pool of client licenses. So yes, it is $10,000 for Unity client server.
Okay. If you guys have any other questions, keep sending them in. I also wanted to let you know that this live, or this recording will be available within 48 hours. So if you did miss a question, you can go back to it. And the PowerPoint will also be available as well. And you can find that on the OnBase 14 community or in the email that you'll get after this webinar. Oh, is there a charge for the PDF framework license?
There is. I believe that the PDF framework is a $3,000 enterprise license, and that includes many features specific to PDFs. So whether that's Unity signatures for PDFs, document separation for PDFs, any kind of manipulation or modification of PDFs does require that PDF framework license regardless of the module being used. It can be shared across those modules.
Hi everyone, just hang tight. We're restarting our VM right now. So if you have questions, keep sending them through. All right, we have a question. Can you customize the look and feel of the Unity client for your users and push it out to all the users in the company?
The answer to that is yes and no. The administrator can do some customization for the end users, and both of these tools that I'm going to highlight are new in OnBase 14. So the ability to set a tile group for the personal page and set that as the home page is certainly something the administrator can do. The administrator, also new in OnBase 14, can go through all of the user options and select those for the user, setting them by default, and push all of those out. But that almost limits the customization that the admin can do. Additional customizations like the grouping and the stacking and the sorting, and allowing some of those document list customizations to persist between sessions does need to be done by the user themselves. As with that custom keyword panel, that needs to be done by the user himself. Other options for the administrator, though, do exist within workflow to preset workflow layouts for the end user. Like maybe a user lives in workflow and you want the inbox to be on the top and you want the related documents to be below the inbox, whatever the case may be. The workflow administrator can set a group layout in workflow and push that out to a group of users as well.
Okay. Does Unity come with ad hoc scanning?
The Unity client comes with the ability to perform an ad hoc scan, which is, one document at a time. If you happen to have a scanner or, a camera or some kind of device connected to your machine, it does provide, an ad hoc scan capability, which is really just like document upload, except from a piece of hardware. So if you're familiar with upload, the upload dialog in Unity, that's what you're getting. It doesn't come with all of these batch indexing features that we just showcased. But it does have the ability, if I have a scanner connected to my machine and I've got a stack of papers and I want to scan in this, one thing on an ad hoc basis, and I'm going to do some manual keyword indexing, maybe with a couple autofills, delete a page, reorder a page, whatever's available in that upload dialog, that is included with Unity for free. And if you have the Unity client server, and you get that ad hoc for free, that means that it does extend like to Outlook integration or the Office business applications. But I think the big differentiator is that there we're talking about the upload dialog as opposed to using that batch indexing interface.
Okay. Does Unity stream down multi-page TIFFs even if they are imported through DIP?
I don't believe so. I don't believe that we do that streaming of multi-page TIFF documents if they're imported via DIP. But Terry, I can check on that with some of our development people. Julie, I don't know if you have any insight. I will ask them that exact question and get back to you.
Is there a way to allow only image file types when browsing to upload a document in Unity?
Shoot, I don't know if there is a way. If anybody else has any insight to only allow image file types when browsing to upload, I mean, certainly you can limit the document types that the user can select, and you can preset the file types on those document types, but I don't know that that's ever going to prevent a user from browsing to their desktop and pulling in a PDF.
Okay. Can sweep be done with ad hoc scanning in Unity?
No, the sweep is a function of that batch or production document imaging. So the ad hoc scanning, again, is happening from the upload dialog as opposed to in imaging.
Okay. Will Unity 14 allow delete reorder pages?
Delete reorder pages. I mean, you have the ability from within document separation to reorder those pages and to delete a page. So I think as long as you send them to document separation, then the answer is yes. I think it might just be slightly different than what you're experiencing in the OnBase client, but it is certainly possible. We also have not new in 14 or enhanced in 14, but our document editor available on image file formats, which allows that same capability on an individual document.
Does the doc separation for deleting pages exist in 12?
Yes, it does. So that ability to reorder pages and delete individual pages was available in document separation in 12 for image file formats.
Okay. Can scanning sweep in a Word document? If so, how does this work with document separation?
I believe that you can sweep in a Word document, but it does not work with document separation in any way, shape, or form. The only file types that can be sent to separation are images and PDFs. We are slowly but surely logging on here. Thank you so much for the participation and the questions to keep our webinar going and interactive. I certainly appreciate it.
Which clients work with a Macintosh?
Currently the Unity client does not work with a Mac. The only OnBase client that works with a Macintosh is the OnBase web client, specifically that cross-browser compatible HTML only web client, works on a Mac with Firefox or Safari. Yay, here she is.
Oh, beautiful.
All right, well, with not too much time left, and of course a whole list of things that we want to show on our demo, if there is anything in particular that you would like to see and you're still on the line, we've got a couple hundred of you still here, feel free to type that in and we'll try to get to some of the things. In the meantime, without doing too much configuration, I'm just going to have Julie show us some of the new configuration options available for administrators on both the user options and the tile group. So maybe in the interest of time, let's not create one, but just show briefly what it looks like. Maybe they can see the behind the scenes on what that HR tile group looks like. So this is our tile group administration for the personal page, and you can see we're just creating a little tile group. And now the way these tiles got here is the same way any other tile would get to the personal page. Instead of right-clicking on our workflow queue for hire or reject and sending it to our personal page, we simply sent it to our tile group. And then from here, the administrator can recolor, rename, maybe show that ability to kind of do some configuration on some of these tiles. They can reorder them, get them all set up, assign them to that group, and then they're good to go. So all of the administration for our tile group creation is done from the Unity client. When it comes to user options, same thing. We're visiting the application menu, administration. And so actually all of our user options are what are found in our application menu itself. And now the administrator can go through and edit those user options and set, defaults for a particular user option. They can even lock a user option if they don't want the users to be able to further modify it, once they kind of get their hands on the client. And they can even, as the administrator, give themselves a note as to why they set that particular option. And then they'll simply assign this policy to a user group.
So as you were saying before with the tooltips that we have, so if I hover over an option, you'll see that sometimes some of the options give you a little more information here as far as any help related things.
Mm-hmm. So let's go to a hit list of documents. Maybe we can get to a couple of Sam's documents really quick. I wanted to show Tim, who has been patient on the line, how we can right-click on a couple of those documents, and we don't have to do it, but show how you would send to separation. So as we search for a couple of Sam's documents, we'll select a smattering of images and PDFs, and just show you how you would right-click to send some to separation.
Okay, so does the document separation now eliminate the need for multiple scan formats when scanning single and multiple page documents?
It depends. I'm going to say the answer to that is completely does it eliminate it? No, but Could it work for what you're trying to accomplish? Maybe yes. I think maybe more what I want to get across is that while we have a unified document separation interface, there is one thing, which is as I'm walking through my imaging and indexing process, I want these documents to go through separation. And that capability, which looks just like this, would be part of your little cues within your imaging interface. This is, maybe the documents are already in OnBase, they're already committed, who knows, time has passed, and I'm looking at a hit list or I'm looking at a document and I want to right click to send it to separation so that I can continue to work with it and modify it. So again, it's just part of your process in terms of when do I want to separate and combine these documents, as it applies to my business. So that was our right click on a couple different documents and it sent them all to separation. You can see they're all those individual documents.
And these are image and PDF files. They're different document types, so we've got them all here.
And maybe really quick, in the 2 minutes that we have left, let's bring up one of our images. And I think our reference document was maybe an image. And I do apologize for the delays in the software demo. I have a love-hate relationship with these virtual machines. At the moment it's hate. All right, so as you can see here, we have our tabbed ribbon, which changes as we select different file formats or different places in the client. One of my favorite, I think, underutilized features of EDMFs is that of image markups, and I'll ask Julie just to create a couple markups. This is really just that ability to draw on documents in OnBase. So whether it's adding text or highlights or colors or check marks or arrows, it's really the ability to do on a piece of paper anything you would if you had a pen in your hand. And we can save these markups either as a revision or directly on that original file format. So we'll hit save. And in this case, we've opted to save this as a revision. And then even we could sign this document using Unity signatures. And this allows us with a mouse, a signature pad, or a stored signature to permanently burn a signature, a wet or a physical signature, into both images and PDFs. So many features, whether it's separation or signing or interactive data capture or full text search, that support PDFs in OnBase.
All right, we have a few more questions that we'll get to. Can you create a note that will insert the document keywords?
Not that I'm aware of. I do not know of a method to create a note and have that note apply keywords on a document. Sorry, Jonathan. So you can see Julie signed with the mouse, a signature, and is now saving this as a revision and permanently burned it in. And the way we have it configured, she could move it around and add a byline manually. We also have options to pre-configure a signature location and automatically apply that signature byline or date and time stamp. All right. We will open up now for any final questions or any other demo guidance. If you have something in Unity that you would like to see, speak now or forever hold your peace.
Can workflow send existing documents to doc separation?
I don't believe so. I'm not aware of workflow being able to send to document separation. Sorry about that.
If you combine these files, what happens with the keywords that do not match?
Separation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on the document type that you have it set. I believe it'll take the first document that is in the list and use those keywords for the first document as you see them in separation.
Okay.
Very good. Good question. I didn't know that one either.
And then some of the features open new windows. Can that be changed to open in a new tab in Unity?
Unfortunately, no. We have the ability to open in a new window, and that could be kind of, in or out of the client. But they'll all open, kind of naturally the way it's been configured. So a new custom query will open as a new tab, and then you have the ability to open as a new window. If a document is opening already in a new window, so you double click on a document, it opens in a new window. Unfortunately, there's not a way to kind of pin that back and place it as a tab. However, we do have the integrated document viewer, which can be found below any document hit list, which you can expand and kind of keep the view of the document and the hit list and the keywords all in one view. Maybe we could show that real quick.
Okay, what is start a discussion, and who would you be discussing with?
Great question. And what would you be discussing about? Right? Discussion is a collaboration feature. Another one of my favorite, I think, unfortunately underutilized features, and it's the ability to have conversations about documents in OnBase. So unlike notes, which aren't really threaded discussions, even though sometimes I think they're used as discussions back and forth, this is the ability to maybe ask a question. Does this candidate look good? I think it looks pretty great. What do you guys think? And to have somebody reply to this particular thread. So, people can get an email notification that someone has started the discussion. They can come in and collaborate and talk back and forth. And so now, instead of having all this conversation happen in email, it's captured right alongside the document. And just like notes, there can be multiple discussions with multiple threads, meaning multiple back and forth, and it gives all that user information and date and timestamp, and you can even lock down a discussion and subscribe to email notifications. Great question. Do discussions require the Outlook client? No, they do not. You can optionally subscribe to notifications on a discussion, but you do not have to. I even think they can go to internal mail. All of this discussion capability is happening inside the Unity client itself. So if you want to participate in discussion, even if you're being notified via Outlook, you're coming into the client to reply to that particular thread.
Is there a document in Community that indicates what is available in, say, the thick client and not in the Unity client?
Unfortunately, no, there is not, and I'll be honest with you that I don't know that there ever will be. It's just, I don't know if it's, too much to take on, or they're not really intended to be analogous clients, but we can certainly help you identify if there's a particular feature that you're curious about, if it's in Unity or vice versa. We do have our web server feature matrix that compares our web clients and then additionally as Unity, but I hate to point this out as the Unity client evangelist because this is weighted on the side of web. Basically lists all the web features and it says whether Unity has it. It doesn't list all the amazing things that Unity has that are not found in web.
Can discussions be deleted?
Discussions cannot be deleted on their own. They are deleted with the document. So when the document is deleted from the system, that discussion goes with it.
Can discussions trigger a workflow action?
No, I do not believe they can. Unfortunately, there isn't that communication from the collaboration discussion back into workflow to trigger something to happen.
Okay. And then do users get a notification upon login that someone replied to their discussion?
I don't believe so. I believe they have to subscribe to the email notifications, and that would either be by way of external mail via Outlook, Lotus Notes, GroupWise, Gmail, or it would be via, oh, you know what, I take that back. That is via the distribution service. Yeah. So that is SMTP. So the external notifications are being sent by the distribution service to any email account or via internal mail. However, there is a user option, I believe, that allows the user to be notified when they log in if they have new internal OnBase email notifications, one of which could be a collaboration discussion thread.
Can discussions be sent as a hidden property on the document?
That is a great question. I believe that you do have to have the ability to view the discussions. I'm not really sure what you, and certainly to participate in those discussions. I don't know that, what exactly you mean by hidden property.
And then is there a discussion webinar where we could discuss discussions?
Let's see. Well, we can certainly have a discussion virtually on the collaboration community. I'm not sure when the next webinar for collaboration is, but that is the module that houses all of this discussion capability. I'm excited that it has piqued so much interest. I will pass that information along.
And then our discussions security trimmed via groups?
There is some security. You can see that, on our thread security here, we're able to enable security. So first there is, the ability to participate in these discussions at all. You've got to be licensed for it. But then also I can start a thread and I can set discussion. So, I can set security on that threaded discussion. So maybe I want to set, just Julie and I are going to talk back and forth, and I would just give her privileges to this discussion.
And you can set either users, specific users, or user groups, it looks like here.
All right, well, we will give one more minute for any final questions to come in now that this is kind of sunk in. And we'll give a minute for some more questions, and then we will say adieu to you all, and thank you so much for attending.
Can you hide discussions just like notes?
I don't know that you can the same way. Certainly you can kind of collapse this panel over here, and it will appear in the document ribbon that there is a discussion. I don't know that it's really possible to hide this any more than, via security, or than it is right now.
All right, awesome. Well, it looks like those are all the questions. If you do have any more, feel free to submit them through Community, and we will get to those there. Again, the recording will be available within 48 hours of the live session through an email you'll receive or on the OnBase 14 community. Thank you, everyone, for sticking around with us, and have a great day.
And post any unanswered questions to Community. Thank you.